Okay, so another month, another tier list update. And with this new month, we got 3 new characters to add. In order of release here, Elaine and Liz came out together. And then now this week, we got Festival Hell. Same for PvE, of course. There was no new PvE activities, so no need to move any pre-existing characters. But PvP-wise, there are needs to move some pre-existing characters because obviously meta shifts and stuff like that. Now, let's start with Elaine. Elaine is the simpler of them all because although, well, she's here. It's a character that has a very interesting passive. She's pretty generally good. Definitely, we could tell, right? She was gonna come out, and if no new festival fairy was to release, because we knew there was gonna be a festival, we didn't know who, but if the festival was not a fairy, this was going to be a character that was short-lived. And guess what happened? No new festival fairy. There is a chance in the near future or long future from now, this character can make a sort of a comeback. But right now, she is less than ideal to use. For the 2 weeks or so since she came out, before Festival Hell, she was honestly pretty good. The team of her, Tyr, and King was making some waves. Loads of whales were using it because if you go first with that team, you shred. Problem is, not so much anymore. Hell put such a stop to that because if you AoE with King, next turn, immediately the corrosion destroys your shield and you're just a sitting duck for Tyr. So immediately she's not usable anymore. Like that's why I didn't really quite recommend people summoning for her because it was such a gamble. It's like, yeah, you can summon, but that's assuming, you think King is gonna come out next. Like we thought maybe King was gonna come out next. He didn't, like, there was no LR King, there was no Festival King for her. She was just an odd release. This character is an odd release. There could be, a future that she does end up getting some support, or she is the support, right? But I mean, as she ends up getting some more characters for fairies that will allow her to shine, but for the time being, I will put her in, I think, sub-meta. She's still a character that can be used. It's just, if I made this list a week ago, I would have put her in meta. Because there were so many people actually demolishing with her. You go in, attack buff, King attack, Tyr attack. If they have dodge, attack buff, do an Elaine attack or something, then King attack. Your shield was so strong because you were doing so much damage. But again, if you face a Hell with that team, you're not winning. You're simply not winning. And Hells are pretty common. So if there's a whole category of players that you just physically can't win against, no matter what, can't call that meta. But yeah. So Festival Liz now. First few days, some people were trolling with her. Be like, my god, she's so good. She's so OP. But obviously, not really. Like she's alright in PvP. She's made for PvE, right? So actually, let's do it like this. Because Liz is made for PvE, let's just rank the characters in PvE as well. So Elaine is pretty good in PvE. I would say she has a use case. She's not generally going to be very good for hard activities or point-based activities, which are in PvE, those are the activities that honestly matter the most when you look at it. Speaking of, bump up Mikasa. Generally speaking, Mikasa, Ban. Can I bump up Green Ascanor as well? I guess I could. Humans have, because of Mikasa, really got bumped up on anything that has, stat base activity. They got a real bump because now with Mikasa and Bon's HP buff, you can get very high points in point-based activities. So yeah, Mikasa you know, I was unsure how well it would be compared to Unknown, but with the newest final boss, we got confirmation. Like, Mikasa human team is just as good as Unknown. For the current final boss, by the way, humans is the best, but that's mainly because there's actually a rule or, you know, an extra mission of using full humans. If not for it, I'm pretty sure Unknown would still be best. But humans is now like the second best team for points in final boss. So yeah, Liz, right? Or sorry, Elaine is not going to be good for any activity like that. But for farming, very good. The lowering and then the attack boost, very, very good for farming. And that's really all. That's really all. Okay, let's go back to Liz. So Liz, she's all right. I mean, she can be fun to use. Like, again, people were like over-exaggerating how actually good she was because she was an LR and people wanted to make good videos on her. I never really bit into it because I just knew it was a lie. Like, I just knew it was a lie. It's not real. Like, there was no team for her that was actually good. She is not a character. Oh, actually, King. Let me bump up King alongside Elaine. Almost forgot. I have some notes right next to me of like the characters that bump up and down. I'm just recording and forgetting to take a look. The thing is, goddesses, right, are going to be the limiting factor for any new goddess coming out. If the new goddess is not what goddesses need, the new goddess is not going to be good. It's just as simple as that. And guess what? This is not what goddesses needed. This character is most certainly not what goddesses needed. And goddesses still remain a okay team at the very most. Okay. And in PvE, she's a stupid good unit. Actually insane. I don't think I need to like go into detail. If you've seen any of the PvE showcases, there's gonna be a new activity for Demonic Beast. It's already like we got dev notes and they already talked about it, right? I guarantee you, I promise you, if the activity is somewhat hard, this unit is gonna be on the optimal team. If it's not very hard, there might be faster teams like humans for sure. But if the activity has a resemblance of difficulty and you can't really just speed farm it, Liz is going to be so important for it. It's going to be crazy. Anything that is remotely hard in PvE, Liz is going to absolutely exterminate. So yeah, that's pretty much Liz. Not very good for fast stuff because she's really only healing you. But the heal is so strong. I mean, she does more than just heal. But the main thing is the absurd healing, the constant ults, because she can... If she ults and then uses one card, she gets another ult. And because her ult gives 2 ult gauge to everyone, you can, you know, pop ults non-stop with your characters. Absolutely insane PvE character. Now new Festival Hell, which is very good. I mean, she's OP. That's the end of the video. I'm gonna move down. So, I want to keep the meta tier. Characters that I would consider to be on the meta version of that team. And this is why, for example, I don't have Zeldris, right? Even though I still think Zeldris on Demons is a team that you can get Champ 1 with, for example, right? I mean, many other non-meta teams can get Champ 1, but just making that an example. I wouldn't say that you should use Zeldris on Demons. Like, there is no reason why you would do that. But there is a reason why you might want to use Chandler, right? You might want to swap out Esterosa for Chandler, which right now might actually be the best demon team, by the way. Zeldris, Demon King Zeldris, Chandler, Purgatory, Malik, Kusok might actually just be the best demon team right now. And stuff like that, right? So I do have more than just one version of the team. But, for example, like Freya, I just don't think is one of the best versions of... the Hell team. After using Freya and Gillian for a while, it's like the stats that you get from Freya are so absurd. Now I'll still keep her here. Like the targeting. Since Freya's up there, I'll put Gillian as well. Where is she? I'll put Gillian as well. The thing is that these two characters, I still don't think is going to be the best version of the new unknown team of Tyr, Hel, Freyr, and Anashi. But the targeting is so powerful to ensure that your Hel survives. So there are arguments for it. So I'll keep them there. And Ghislaine and Freya to me are the same character. They serve the same purpose. Would I say one is better than the other? I think Freya might be a little bit better, but it's whatever. You're using them for the same purpose. I'll keep Akina here because stat boosting is still very, very strong for them. And I'm bumping up Skadi. Skadi is phenomenal. This combo right here of Tyr, Hel, Skadi is very crazy in PvP right now because the other unknown teams they're going to be facing are going to be debuffing Skadi a lot, especially for popping Skadi attacks, you know? And let me tell you, taking a Tyr AoE with this team and taking no damage is pretty crazy. Some other characters that have gotten updates were Holy Relics. The only Holy Relics we got this entire month were Roxy, which, in my opinion, now makes humans an actually viable team. Humans with Roxy, Ascanor, Ban, and Arthur in the back, or Issa in the back, are stupid strong and can actually win against Hel. Hel teams are going to want to go second, and humans are going to want to go first, so it's perfect for you if you're going to be running humans. And that just means, right, you can pop Tyr with one Roxy single target. Super strong. She's super strong right now. That relic is so powerful. And I think for PvP, I didn't really think of anybody else that I wanted to move up or down. Looking at Aaron, I kind of just want to move him down. Can I just move him to garbage? Honestly, I kind of want to. It's not really true. He's not garbage, but in my heart, I just want to have him in garbage tier. Going back to PvE for Hel. I mean, Hel is just like I mentioned for Elaine. She's not going to be good for any actual hard activities. Those debuffs are going to stack to anyone. She's just not good in PvE. I'll put her like right next to Red Demon Melee here. Yeah, she's just not very good for PvE. No, her passive doesn't really work in PvE enemies for the most part. And for the ones that work, you can just use much more optimal teams. Some other character... Oh yeah. The other Holy Relic we got was Red Hair Liz. So for all the Red Hair Liz's, I don't think it changes much of where I would place them, really. For Red Hair Liz, yeah, your team that you are using for those stages, the time stages, the coin, essay coin, and the Envol dungeon, yeah, they were already like destroying the dungeon because you had her, right? So getting the extra 50% attack that she's giving is good, but it doesn't really it's not gonna make or break that run that you had. You know what I mean? It's gonna make it a little bit faster, sure, but it's not gonna be. You're already destroying the stage. You're just destroying us a bit faster. For Green Hair Liz, I think it's a really big change for her when it comes to new boss battles that count as raids. For example, we had one recently where the best team was Mono Green, and if she already had that relic, it would be very, very powerful. But for the current or existing raids, I felt like Belmoth is not that big of a difference because you already had Tonar, and Tonar already gave an attack buff, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But, for future, one of those is nice. The biggest change for me is actually the blue version. The blue version, I had her, down here, I think, because honestly, she was kind of garbage. That 20% basic stats, if the ally has 100% crit defense or more, is so specific and so just trash. She's more usable now, because if you get the 20% basic stats and 50% attack, that's a big jump on your damage. But you actually have to use her in the front if you want to, get those both working. You need to use her in the front for the 20%. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that she's going to be, as good as, the Kizuna for, final boss farming. She might be. It's just, when I think of this, I'm like, her cards are garbage, right? And you need that character to have 100% crit defense. It's very specific for some reason. So she's better now, though. She's way better now with this Holy Relic. And I think that's it. There might be some characters I'm forgetting that I wanted to move up or down because of certain things. Especially in PvP, there's a lot of times where, a character becomes more versatile and generally better because of new character release, or worse because of new character release. If there is one here, I just forgot. Anyways, those are the new characters.